With the AquaShield, you can easily set up workflows and alerts, and you have a lot of options to automate your garden. First, I log in to the AquaShield Connect web app and I click on the Triggers tab. Here you can set up a workflow based on a time schedule or based on one of your sensor's values. First, I will create a simple job for AquaShield to control the hydroponics setup's grow light cycle. After selecting the time-based trigger, I set up to run this task every day starting at 7 AM. I also have to choose the relay I would like to control. Now I will choose the grow tower's main grow light. It will switch on at 7 o'clock and turn off after 14 hours. That's it! We saved the trigger and you can see that it will run tomorrow at 7 o'clock for the first time. Sensor-based triggers are only a bit more complex than this. For example, if you would like to regulate the temperature inside your greenhouse, you can set up a trigger to supervise it. Let's see how to do it. I will start by creating a sensor-based trigger. I will use the air temperature as a base and will set up a task to run when the temperature is greater than 32 degrees Celsius or 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the temperature reaches this point, we will start to run the ventilation and will run it for 15 minutes. Optionally, you can check the email notification box, so you will receive an email every time when this trigger is activated. You can list all your triggers by clicking on its tab. As you can see, here are the 2 triggers that I just set up. Here you can also pause the triggers and check when it will run the next time. The last but most interesting trigger is when you set up a sensor-based trigger to control your dosing pumps. You can use your EC probe or pH probe to control your dosing in your hydroponics system. In our case, we will use one dosing pump to regulate the pH and another one to add nutrients to the system. We set up the first pump to dose 50 milliliters of pH down per minute. Then we set up a sensor-based trigger to run every 30 minutes to check if the pH is higher than 6.5. If it is the case, the trigger will run the dosing pump for 1 minute, adding 15 milliliters pH down to the system. With this, the AquaShield automatically regulates the pH without the risk of overdosing. I also added an email alert, so I will be notified every time the system needed dosing. Similarly to this, we set the second dosing pump to add 20 milliliters of complex nutrients to the system per minute. After this, we created a sensor-based trigger to run every hour and check if the EC is lower than 2100 microsiemens per centimeter. If this is the case, the trigger will run for 60 seconds and add 20 milliliters of nutrients to the tank. As before, I also added an email alert to the trigger. That's it! Now you know the most important monitoring and controlling features of AquaShield. We hope you liked this short introduction and we gave you some ideas how to create your own high-tech garden. See you in the next video.